All right, everyone. Thanks for coming. We finished out the preseason today with a 4-4 tie. And we had some things that we did well. We have a lot of things that we can work on. And so it was really good to have a game like Monday to be followed up by a game like today, where we saw what happens when the other team puts the ball in play and we're not ready. The first inning, we had three errors in the first inning. And I told the boys after the inning, I said, we we should have been out of that inning in 15 pitches. We ended up throwing 32 pitches. We had to make six outs that inning. Every time that we make an error, that's a time that we open the door for another team to score. We ended up giving up 4 runs in that inning, but I said, the bright side is, look, we gave up 4 runs. We didn't give up five. The inning wasn't called. We made 3 outs before we gave up 5 runs. And out of those 32 pitches in the first inning, that was the our pitcher. I think he threw 20 strikes and 12 balls. So that's a pretty good ratio. Um, we have to work on some things in the field. That's what we have to do when we our second pitcher who is going to be our number two starting pitcher came in. We kind of did it a little bit different today because I wanted what may be our third starting pitcher or a relief starting pitcher. He's also the primary catcher that we have, so I didn't want him to be catching and then come in and be tired from doing that and try to pitch. So we kind of mixed it up a little bit. So I had told our the second pitcher that came in tonight, I said, treat this like a new game. That's what I want you to do, and he pitched very, very well. He faced 7 batters. He struck out 6 of them. He had 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. In the first inning, we had 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. So all outs we recorded were by strikeout. So in our second pitcher that came in the 2 innings that he pitched 27 pitches, 21 strikes, 6 balls. We pitched a total of 59 pitches. We are in a really good situation with the pitchers that we have. We have a pretty strong staff that we can um, hopefully rely on and put us in situations where we can do some really good things. But we have to work on being able to field behind and being able to make those outs behind to get out of an inning. We can't rely on our pitchers just to strike everyone out. We have to make the plays when we get those opportunities in the field. And that's something we talk to the kids about. It's very baseball can be very slow, and you can get ready for every pitch and not get a ball hit to you. But that one time that a ball's hit to you, then you have to make that play. And so that's difficult, and that's something that we'll learn and we'll continue to work on throughout the season. As far as hitting, we struggled a little bit in hitting. Our average for the day was actually 181. Not very good. Not a very good stat for hitting. For average, our on base percentage was 450. So we actually were getting on base less than half the time. Um, but what we focused on, we had 8 strikeouts. Of those 8 strikeouts, we had 5 looking strikeouts, and one of those were questionable. I didn't think that was a strike, but the others were pretty good pitches that we should have gone for. And we don't want to have looking strikeouts because that's basically just giving outs away to the other team without them having to do too much. But we also had 7 walks. We did show patience at the plate. We had 7 walks. We had 86 pitches thrown to us. So they threw 86 pitches, we threw 59. We had a 27 pitch differential. So again, we're on that plus side. That's where we want to be. We want the other team to throw more pitches to us than we throw to them. And so all in all, I think it was a pretty good learning experience. I think I'm happy with. I told the boys I'm happy with the way that they came back. They showed some resiliency. Um, and whenever we work on a few things and whenever we get comfortable with some things and working in the field and get comfortable with situations at bat and situations with knowing what to do in the games, I think we will people will start to see some success, and that's also something that we rely on early in the season is we know that especially newer players new to this league, we're going to struggle a little bit. And but what we want is we're not looking at the first two games or the first three games or four games to measure like how successful somebody can be. We're looking throughout the whole season. And so if by the end of the season we're starting to make better decisions and we're starting to extend at bats and we're starting to foul off balls and then maybe we're working walks or we're getting base hits or we're putting balls in play and running and moving people around the bases. That's what we're focused on. We're focused on the long run, not these first two games and even even the outcomes of the games is not really the most important thing to us. We want to look at how players are developing throughout the season. And so all in all, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good pre-season two games that we finished one win, zero losses, one tie. We came back in this one. And so it felt pretty good for us because we were able to come back. And I'm excited what we're going to do. We have a practice Saturday to go over some things and get ready for the season. I think we have. I think our first game is against a pretty good team that's going to have pretty good pitching staff. So we'll. I'm excited for that. One question, if anybody has one. Yeah, yeah. The question is, what's the process and what's the outlook moving into the season? The outlook's bright. The outlook is, we are. Um, a young team that we will everybody I think in the league is pretty young. We also are a young team, and I think there are a lot of um, opportunities for us to learn. And that's what these early season games are. That's what this season is about, is by the end of the season, if we're seeing different decisions being made and we're seeing people being able to have more success and find success in different things, that's a positive for us. The one thing that we really need to work on with kind of off the field or I guess the maybe mental aspect of it is the looking at teamwork and how people um, help the team and what they're doing to help the team. And that's the fun part is we'll be able to talk about that. And so by the end of the season, that's another goal is that people understand better what it means to help a teammate and why it's important. And as I said tonight after the game to the kids, you know, you're at some point going to be in a job where you're going to be on some type of team where somebody has to, multiple people have to depend on you, and so that's something very, very important that we want to instill. And so I'm really happy with the end of the preseason. I'm looking forward to what we're going to do here in the next few weeks. So thanks a lot, everybody.